Welcome back to another episode of the Super Geeks, where the geeks stay getting super.
And the supers will forever be geeks.
Yes, sir.
So, we're on our new review. Another review for another very past due movie.
Yeah. So like you guys may see by the title and stuff like that, today we're going to be reviewing The Joker 2. I'm not going to try saying the name because I'm going to butcher it.
Folie Duex.
I'm going to butcher it. Alright, so like you guys see for all of our movie reviews, we're going to give our ratings, the good, the bad, and future for the franchise, right?
Yep.
So let's get straight into it. What are you rating it?
So, for the rating on Joker, Folie Duex, I have to give it... Sadly, I got to give this one like a 6.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, like a 6, right?
Mhm.
6 out of 10. It's...
Alright, so...
good. Let's start positive.
No, let's start... Yeah, actually, let's start positive.
Let's start positive.
Alright. So the reason I said 6 out of 10, right? The things that I think kept it alive was I liked, the split personality kind of idea. I like and I'm going about the psychosis type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a cool approach, to the Joker at least, I know like he's usually a character that's like he's like very like he's one personality. He's just the Joker. So I thought that was cool that they did that, but it also destroys like, the presence that he built. I definitely think that like the ending where spoiler, he dies.
Well, all of these reviews are spoilers.
Yeah, no. I like when he died, like that when the dude's cutting himself in the background.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that could be a cool build up for Heath Ledger's Joker, right? So that's like where my brain was going with that. I liked some of the, songs. I didn't like all of them because I thought it was a cool way to show like, mental, like, like a mental illness type of thing, and I definitely liked the actors. I just didn't like the writing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, I guess that was that's my first dislike, even though we're talking about positives.
Yeah. So for me, I liked the idea of Joker standing trial.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much into him in the courthouse, handling all of that, as well as him finding that connection with Harley. I like the twist that Harley wasn't actually insane, that she was there. Yeah, she checked herself in. She was like a rich girl that just was like, whatever, infatuated with like crazy people for some reason. I really like that twist on her. Did not like the music. Every time they started singing, I was like, shut up. I was like, let's go on to the next thing.
I like this opening when it showed the cartoon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
For me, though, if I really think about all the heroes and villains in a comic, I don't see them using them for like musicals. I don't see that.
Music Meister.
Yeah, maybe him or like the Pied Piper.
Yeah,
like those two, because their power is based around music.
Yeah,
but Joker is a psychopath. Harley is another psychopath. I like the story that they gave her to trick us into realizing, oh, she isn't actually crazy, because we thought she was. That she's just doing this for whatever sick game as a rich person.
Yeah.
I like that whole idea. I think it was fantastic. It's just like, shut up, stop singing. Can we get to the next? And I knew, and that was what the first idea that everybody had when they first saw the trailer was like, oh, this is about music? That sucks. Like, and then, so that's my reason for the points down. Another reason, I didn't like that they killed him.
I liked it.
I did not. Let's say, I'll rearrange it. He died without somebody else building up with him. If he had somebody in that movie that was like kind of his like number,
like right hand,
that stayed with him, because Harley was his number 2 in that movie, was pretty much building to be his number 2 in the movie, and then she just abandoned him, and then he dies. It's like, you kind of took away everything for the movie. I think the only redeeming factor, if you were to kill him, would have been to have Harley have just stay infatuated with him at the end, but it wouldn't have fit because he revoked who he was
Yeah.
in the courthouse, and she was like,
So
"Well, you're a pussy now."
yeah, so like keeping the trend of like talking about the bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
That him revoking who he was, like in the comics and TV shows, the Joker never really shares his true identity. Like his
Yeah.
identity is the Joker, and there's reasons to it. Like he believes that the Joker can be anybody because you just need one bad day. So him revoking that and kind of like saying there is no Joker, like I was like one you destroyed like the whole premise of the first movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like that. Um, I would disagree with you. I like that he died.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, if like I love that they gave him the death sentence. I was like, yo, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
So imagine if like they had carried it out and he
Yeah.
like sitting there and like imagine like they like poison him and he's laughing the whole time and a kid's watching that, a kid with cut up faces watching that shit.
Mhm.
That could have easily been the build up to the next Joker.
Yeah.
Right then and there, I was like, boom. But like when the stabbing, I was like, okay, I still see where you were going with this, but it's like I don't agree with it. So
I understand, like, I get what you're saying because I mean they technically in a way did that because the guy who ended up killing himself after killing not killing himself, the one who
like scratching his
gave
face and stuff.
gave himself what is like thought of to be that he made a smile out of his face. He cut up
Yep.
his face to look like a smile. After killing this Joker, he was that's kind of the same idea of you being like, oh, what if this guy went to the gas or whatever and
Yeah.
took the lethal injection and he was laughing and the kid and the psycho that was watching. It's the same idea. That's why I'm still not with it. I would have, if they did that, I would have preferred this, and this would have been very, very, very true to the comics. If when he went and he was going into the wherever how they were gonna kill him with like lethal injection or whatever, right when that's gonna happen, like I don't know, Harley blows a hole in the wall and saves him and is like, hey, like I was bugging out. I'm still in love with you, or some shit like that. I don't know, whatever the writing may be. But she was ended up showing that she's still down for him, right? And once she like tries to take him out, like somebody comes and like shoots the Joker and kills him, and Harley like gets away. Now you're leaving it so that his legacy isn't dead. It's
Yeah,
still
no,
alive.
yeah. I see. That's why I kind of like the fact that he died like this. At least
Mhm.
like the idea that I'm trying to say, right?
Mhm.
It's because like the idea of the Joker was that he was a monarch, right?
Yeah.
So imagine someone's like, "Oh, you were a monarch, but like you didn't hold it. You're true to the title. You didn't hold true to any of this."
Mhm.
So then they'd redo it in a whole different way,
Yeah.
which would lead into his Joker because he wasn't making jokes. He
Yeah.
wasn't out here trying to be free. He was chaos.
Yeah.
He was purest chaos in its natural form.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great like a way to kick it off. So if you see someone just laughing at the death sentence,
Yeah.
I feel like that would have made him find peace within the chaos. And the reason I like that like Harley kind of relinquished that title something like that is because I didn't like their relation. In reality, I didn't. And you guys can hate me for this if you guys did like it. I didn't like it because I liked the writing of how she was, right? I liked that like this was fake to her, and it was all about the fantasy, and that's great. That plays up to like what was going on with him,
Mhm.
but it doesn't play off of like what the Jokers and Harley do or
Yeah.
what, like their lives, for those of you guys that don't know, Harleen Quinzel was the psychiatrist at Arkham, and I hated that they didn't play Arkham the right way. Like I love the abuse and shit, but like they didn't play Arkham the right way. Like
Yeah.
like you could still name drop a little bit. You could same fucking issues I had with like some things with like the Penguin and stuff like that. Like you could name drop a little bit here and there, stuff like that. So I think that like for that relationship, I don't think they dove into the way they were supposed to be. I like that it was a twist. It was cool.
Yeah.
But certain storylines keep them a little bit the same. Like a little bit the same. Like make her his psychiatrist. Show Joaquin Phoenix. Make her fall in love with the fact that like maybe he did have split personality. She fell in love with Arthur Fleck, right?
Yeah.
But like to keep him alive, she had to release a Joker, and
Okay.
that means she has to now split, and that would be a dope like type of thing, because then that could lead into like, oh, if Batman were to die, Joker dies, right, and he goes back to becoming like his normal self, and then it reawakens when he has another playmate.
Yeah.
So that would have been a cool twist to that type of storyline. It would have been a cool twist to the psychosis thing, and that's how Harley's supposed to mentally break.
Yeah. Okay.
So that would have been. I would have loved to see that. It would have made the
Yeah.
scene even at least more bearable
Okay.
in that aspect.
Yeah. So now with that being said, in all honesty, I don't think there's gonna be. I think this is it. This is the end of Joker. Like they didn't set up anything for there to be like a third one. There is no like there isn't anything that's gonna come next. I think it just ends here. And from our understanding, James Gunn said that these stories were Elseworld stories.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you think he would? Do you think he would reference them like whenever he taps into the multiverse in his DCU? Do you think he would ever reference this Joker?
Maybe if we're talking multiversal level, maybe. But this Joker didn't do anything to really be seen as one of the top tier Jokers, right?
That's what I'm
So
thinking
like,
too.
if we're talking multiversal things, like no,
I
big
don't think.
reality,
Yeah.
no. I think the Joker's just gonna be a one and done, well, two and done now, right? I think the most that you could have seen out of this is that it could be hinted at a prequel to the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like we have a Joker in that universe, so we don't need to
Yeah.
reference him
Yeah,
as
which
at
is
all.
why a lot of people that was the thought after seeing the guy cut his
Mm.
mouth into a smile. That was the idea that this felt like a prequel to The Dark Knight. Um, a lot of reaches in that
Yeah, that was
idea.
really reaching because
A
Gotham was a
lot of
shithole,
yeah, a
like a
lot of reaches
shithole.
in that
So
whole theory, but I like the theory. And I
yeah,
also think the same thing because James Gunn is like he's I don't think he's going to touch the multiverse
mm,
until like phases from now. I think he's going to let the multiverse stuff in Marvel and
mm. Like settle
in
down. So he could do
let
his
it
own thing. Yeah,
let it
yeah.
calm down, let it die out for a minute, give it its rest period so that when he presents it it feels nostalgic rather than forced into
I
people.
feel like the reason that he's gonna wait, right,
Mhm.
is just strictly because not because like you want nostalgia, right? It's more because like these characters in DC haven't been built up the right way to like
Yeah.
do that type of storyline.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be rushed, but it's more like no one would care.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like, oh, like it'll be a half-ass job, like the way Justice League movie came off.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Zack Snyder, you had an amazing vision, you had amazing cuts, but it was a rush job.
Yeah.
It was a half-ass job where no one knew who Cyborg was. No one gave a fuck about the Flash. And the only three characters anyone knew anything about was Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman was a bitch. Sorry to say it. I think Ben Affleck's Batman was good for Batman v Superman,
Mhm.
not for the Justice League. And I feel like if James Gunn were to do like a multiversal thing now, especially like since he sanctioned this movie to come off, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this would be like a big like spit in the audience's face. I think he's gonna do great work when it comes to like his main storyline, but with
Yeah.
Elseworld being right now, like the shining knight of Elseworld is the Batman.
Yeah.
So saying that the Dark Knight is a shining knight is saying a lot.
Right.
So like
Yeah, and I think the same thing. I think that this is the last we'll see of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I think that
mhm,
franchise it's done, it's dead, it's over. That trilogy, what we thought would be a trilogy, it's not gonna be a trilogy. It's done because, in all honesty, if they try to put a third movie out,
I would
it's gonna
imagine.
feel like a cash grab.
Yeah, no,
It'll honestly
definitely.
feel like a cash grab.
Yeah, I feel like the Mike Tyson fight.
Oh, absolutely,
Like hands
absolutely,
down. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like what are we telling a story about? This whole story revolved around Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. He's dead. If you try to do like a prequel to the first one, like when he was a childhood, it's like, all right, bro, you're just trauma
Yeah.
dumping on us now.
Yeah, the only thing I could
Like
see them if they were to do it right is either that Harley was pregnant, right? So it's gonna surround
that's
like
right, they had sex.
yeah, if you want to
Oh
call it that.
yeah, whatever that
If
was.
you
That
want to call it that.
was
So Harley's pregnant.
mhm.
Like we don't know if that was fantasy or reality, right? Like because like
Oh
their
yeah,
fantasy came crumbling down at the end, so we don't know if it was true or not.
I think it was true.
That would be cool if she was pregnant, you know.
But even then,
But like,
it's like fuck this.
yeah,
Like,
no,
in all honesty, it's like whatever.
yeah, I feel
Like,
like that's the only way that they can do
yeah,
it. Like, imagine like you hear like recaps of everything he's done, right? Like from the first movie, his trial, all that stuff, and like that's how it starts, right?
mm,
And you see her rocking like a child in a chair.
that would have been good for like
That would have been cool for a post credit scene.
yeah,
Something that would
yeah.
have been cool.
That would have been cool to see that, but I don't think it's interesting enough
No, not for
to,
a whole movie.
yeah, to revolve a full feature film based off of that idea. I do not think it's worth it. Um, yeah, but I mean, ultimately, it was it was
It did what it was supposed to. It got
it
money into DC bank. It got
yeah,
money into their bank.
barely, right?
Yeah, barely. It was the
Barely.
lowest one to come out.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's not up there for me.
You
It's
know,
yeah, it's
I
pretty
definitely, like
low.
I said, I definitely don't think it was the actor's fault. I think they like Joaquin Phoenix. I think he killed
No.
it as the Joker in the first
Yeah.
one. Even like within the courtroom scene, I think that he did an amazing job.
Hmm.
Playing this character. Um,
I absolutely just think this was more of
strict
a
writing. It was
it was
strict,
just a creative
like,
like outreach. Like,
yeah,
hey, I want to tell this story about a psychopath, but I want to do more creative artsy style. Like, let me do some music into this to tell
yeah.
this.
Which
And it's like, bro, come on, bro.
like
There's like so many comics to tell a great story about Harley and Joker. You
no,
do not have to go that route. You do not have to make it all this artsy blah whatever. Like, I understand um the creative mind to try to do that push. It didn't hit.
no.
And it you know, it is what it is, but yeah, I think I'm glad. In all honesty, I'm glad that this is wrapped up.
Yeah, I think everything needed to be wrapped up. Like the last loose string is the Batman from Elseworld.
Cinematic loose string. I think
Yeah, yeah.
all DC
The
wise,
TV shows, everything's already come to close.
yeah, I think the only
Um,
one that's still out there is Superman and
Superman and
Lois.
Lois.
But I think
That is the last season anyway.
yeah.
So like we talked about like after San Diego Comic-Con, it felt like James Gunn was putting a cap on things from now
Hmm.
on. He just wanted to tie up loose ends so that he can go mainstream with everything he was doing.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, this isn't the way I would have wanted it to end,
Hmm.
but I'm happy it is done. I'm happy that Joaquin Phoenix got to play this character of his beloved best friend.
Yeah.
I was happy to see Lady Gaga on the screen because I was like, if we're gonna make it to a musical, might as well have her. Because she is a great actress.
Singer.
And she's a great singer.
Yeah.
I think she did great for the script she was given. I just, I need more out of DC.
Yeah.
And
So I mean, I'm fine with it being over. I'm ready to see what James Gunn has to offer and
Creature
what's gonna
Commandos,
come
let's
of it.
do it.
Yep, it's coming out December 5th. But yeah, you let us know what you think of the Joker. Adieu. No, what was it? Folie adieu.
Sound like,
Yeah, it sounded like that.
I don't know.
Joker Folie adieu. You tell us what you think about that one. And if you think we are blowing it out of proportion, if you're glad to see this come to an end, or if you wanted to see more, definitely let us know down in the comments below.
She fell asleep during the movie.
And that should tell you everything you need to know. It's not for kids.
No.
Yeah, and just let us know what's up.
All right.
Yep.
Catch us.
See ya.